In high school, I secretly liked the genius boy from the next class, Sean Yu, for 3 years. Yet after 3 years, he didn't even know my name. Later, I wrote this unrequited love story into a novel, which sold its film rights. Coincidentally, the rising film emperor Sean Yu starred as the male lead. On the first day of filming, I had the honor of meeting the cast as the original author, gathering courage to ask him for an autograph. The sunlight was intense that day. 24-year-old Sean Yu wore a white high school uniform, his eyes sparkling brilliantly as he leaned lazily against the windowsill. He took my autograph book, but his gaze lingered on my name printed on the cover. After a long pause, he suddenly looked up and smiled at me. Lily Lin, Class 3, Grade 10. I know you.
Welcome to listen to my full sweet love series novel. I'm the blogger and I'm Twilight's novel. Now let's start the main story.
I saw Sean Yu again at the film premiere of Rain in Jiangnan Today. Rain in Jiangnan Today is an unrequited love novel I wrote based on my high school days, which coincidentally caught a director's attention and sold its film rights. The film officially began production today. The male lead was played by the new film emperor, Sean Yu. Sean debuted as a film actor, starring in 3 movies over 4 years. 2 as supporting roles, 1 as lead, all surpassing $2 billion at the box office. Last week, he won an International Film Festival's Gold Award. This film was Sean's 4th project, a low-budget youth romance, and he took the role without payment. Even his fans couldn't understand why he did it. Until last week, when paparazzi leaked footage of Sean entering and leaving a residential area with a woman. Fans began to see a pattern. Who was Sean Yu? A rare zero-scandal figure in showbiz, now frequently seen with this woman. Fans soon uncovered her identity. Jane Young, a talent show contestant. Jane had remained obscure for years, but after Sean announced his role in Rain in Jiangnan Today, her variety shows, stages, and endorsements surged. Jane had once revealed she and Sean were high school classmates. Sean's unpaid acceptance of this small project was likely to repay a favor, paving Jane's way in the industry. The original work focused on the female lead, offering the male lead little prominence, so this role added nothing to Sean's career. It was a significant sacrifice. Sensing gossip, reporters swarmed Sean after the premiere ceremony ended. As the original author, I was invited by the director to attend the ceremony. I stood quietly among fans below the stage, watching Sean surrounded by cameras. The July sun blazed harshly, and my heart raced wildly. Sean was already in costume. A standard white high school uniform with a blue emblem on the chest, paired with loose black pants that emphasized his broad shoulders and long legs. Sean had sharp, striking features perfect for the big screen. High nose bridge, pale skin. His eyes were especially cold and beautiful, dark and narrow, always radiating detachment. When a pushy reporter shoved a microphone near his face, he simply pulled a hand from his pocket, rubbed his nose calmly, and stepped back. Mr. Yu, rumors say you accepted this role unpaid for your white moonlight. Is that true? The reporter used a vague term since it was just speculation. Sean showed no hesitation, politely taking the microphone with slender fingers. Yes. The reporter pressed further. Is it true this person has a deep connection to the film? Sean lowered his lashes, casting delicate shadows under his eyes as he pondered. Yes. Hearing Sean's open admission, my heart lurched coldly on the stage below, and I dropped my gaze. On Weibo, Sean's interview exploded on the hot search. Jane Young reposted the video but quickly deleted it. Minutes later, she announced on Weibo she would perform the OST for Rain in Jiangnan Today. Comments erupted instantly. Sean had just called his white moonlight deeply tied to the film. Jane announcing the OST seemed like undeniable proof. Netizens flooded with, "We ship it!" exclamations. Scrolling through the hot search, I couldn't describe the bitterness in my heart. Even after countless online rumors about Sean and his white moonlight, hearing him confirm it still chilled me. I had liked Sean for years, starting from 10th grade, but we were in different classes and never spoke once in 3 years. The summer after graduation, Sean went abroad for college. On his departure day, he created a Weibo account with only 3 followers, me and 2 bots. He updated daily about his life overseas. Fearing he'd notice me, I changed my profile to a bot's avatar and username, reading his posts daily but never liking them. In my sophomore year, Sean was scouted by a director overseas and returned to film his first movie. Over the years, I watched Sean grow more famous, his multiplying, widening the gap between us. Last month, Sean's main Weibo hit 10 million followers. His 3 private accounts were exposed, forcing him to deactivate them. Naturally, I switched to his main account. I became one of his thousands of unnoticed fans. Amidst fan screams below the stage, I tucked away my phone and looked down at the autograph book in my arms. I sighed softly. Every Sean fan knew he was low-key, rejecting fan clubs and stations, always urging supporters to focus on their lives. He never signed autographs or accepted letters. But this was my only chance to intersect with Sean's world. I wanted to keep something of his. After the interview, staff escorted Sean into the studio. I remained standing, touching my now shoulder-length hair. After an incident in college, I'd kept my hair short like a boy's. I started growing it out only after learning Sean would star in Rain in Jungnan Today. A film takes at least a year from planning to premiere. In that year, my hair had grown enough to finally meet Sean properly. Filming hadn't officially started when I found Sean by a studio window. He leaned against the frame, long legs crossed, speaking quietly to a staff member. Pale gold light pooled around him through the window, illuminating his proud, glowing eyes as he smiled. I licked my dry lips nervously. Sean's assistant noticed me first and led me to him. "Mr. Yu, the original author wants to meet you. Wants to see you." My cheeks warmed slightly. Hearing this, Sean glanced up, his dark eyes locking onto mine as his smile faded slowly. I took a deep breath, steeling myself as I held out the autograph book. "Mr. Yu." Mustering courage to meet his dazzling gaze, I asked the rehearsed words. "Could you sign this?" Before Sean spoke, his assistant frowned and stopped me. "Ms. Lin, public figures avoid signing blank paper due to potential misuse and legal risks, so we—" "It's fine." Sean raised a hand to cut off the staff. Next, a long-fingered hand reached out and took the book from me. I looked up slowly to see Sean staring intently at my name on the cover. His lashes were long, catching shards of sunlight as he stood frozen there. My heart quietly tightened. I'd crushed on Sean for 3 years in high school without any interaction. Like countless unnoticed admirers, I was ordinary, timid, invisible. I knew Sean didn't know me, which gave me courage to ask for his signature now. "Lily Lin." Sean's lips parted softly as he spoke my name. 2 plain syllables that sounded uniquely tender from him. I murmured softly, "Yes." Hearing this, Sean inexplicably smiled. He lifted his head, cool obsidian eyes meeting mine directly. "I know you. 10th grade, Class 3's English class representative." My heart blazed suddenly. Sean might quit acting after this film. A prop guy I just met told me Sean's family was wealthy, and his previous movies were funded by his father for fun. Sean proved himself talented, delivering performances that met audiences' expectations. Except Rain in Jungnan Today, Sean fought for this role himself. He stayed in film all these years to stay visible to his white moonlight on screen. During a break, the chatty prop guy whispered, "Now they're reconnecting, so he's retiring." I tucked away Sean's autograph and huddled with the prop guy in the shade, gossiping. We'd barely spoken when I heard Sean call my name from the set where he should have been rehearsing. I froze, turning instinctively. For some reason, Sean looked displeased, his stare cold and annoyed. Unsure why, I stood up and answered, "Yes." Sean glanced at me, then at the guy beside me, his long lashes drooping irritably. "Lily, come here." Sean treated the entire crew to milk tea and cake. He'd called me over to claim mine. The prop guy sidled up again. "Seems Mr. Yu's in a good mood." I looked over confused. "How so?" He rolled his eyes. "Girl, are those big pretty eyes on your tiny face just for decoration?" My smile stiffened, and I lowered my gaze slowly. I recalled someone long ago praising my eyes too. He'd pinned me to a cold floor, kissing my eyelids. He said my eyes were so beautiful he wanted to carve them out. "Fine, I'll spell it out," the prop guy huffed. "Jane Young's visiting the set this afternoon." I just regained focus when the news of Jane's visit struck me. For a second, my hand trembled so violently I nearly dropped the milk tea. I didn't expect Jane Young to clash with me first after arriving. She ran over in her gown from the entrance. I was crouched on steps, examining my eyes on my phone's camera because of the prop guy's earlier comment. They were quite beautiful. Almond-shaped, dark as grapes, with a teardrop mole at the corner. But Jane, hypersensitive to cameras, accused me of filming her and demanded to check my phone. "You were filming me." "I don't care, show me your phone." Others intervened, citing privacy invasion. Jane stomped furiously. "You extra! I'll have you kicked off set." Mistaking me for a background actor, she shoved me onto the steps. Sharp edges bruised my arm painfully. Wincing, I shoved my phone deeper into my pocket. I wouldn't let Jane check it. My gallery was full of Sean's photos. "You!" Wind rustled leaves as footsteps approached behind me. Jane fell silent instantly, her arrogance vanishing. Tension thickened the air. I looked back. Sean leaned against the doorframe, hands in his uniform pockets, his wind-tousled bangs messy, a lazy smirk on his lips. He stared at Jane, his smile not reaching his eyes. Sean," Jane stammered nervously. Sean's gaze slid coldly past her face, landing on mine. Yawning tiredly, he pulled a hand from his pocket and extended it toward me. "Give me your hand. I'll help you up." Jane's face twisted with fury. Jane left the set shortly after the conflict. Mom knew I was working on Sean's film and texted me that night. "Sweetie, remember to take your meds on time." I replied, "Okay, I've been taking them." Since that man took me to his rented room years ago, I'd needed pills to function normally. "Miss Lynn." A staff member found me by the window and handed me a Kindle. "Mr. Yu reads this during breaks, but the set's chaotic. Could you return it? He's filming with Group B now. Wait by his car afterward." I took it, agreeing softly. Sean hadn't returned, and his driver wasn't in the car. Without Sean's contact, I hugged the Kindle, squatting outside his car to wait. Sean didn't come. Instead, a sudden torrential downpour drenched me completely. Blinded by rain, I shielded the Kindle and ran for cover. The storm shocked the crew. Staff scrambled to secure equipment and calm actors. Crouched in a corner, I wrung out my soaked clothes, water splashing noisily. Near me, young background actors huddled together, joking for courage. I listened quietly, waiting for the rain to stop. Soon, footsteps approached from afar. The leader held a black umbrella hiding half his figure, long legs in uniform pants striding through puddles, spraying water. Rain poured densely, shrouding his lean frame. This wasn't my first time seeing Sean from this angle. During college, Sean's debut film premiered, and he visited my city for promotions. I'd failed to get a ticket but went anyway. Rain poured that day too. Security barred those without tickets outside. A rough guard pushed us onto wet ground. In the chaos, someone stepped on my hand, staining my clothes with muddy water. Then I saw Sean. The brilliant young actor stepped out of his car to screams and applause. 20-year-old Sean had messy center-parted hair, reveling in his newfound fame. Arm in arm with his co-star, he waved calmly at the cheering crowd. Rain drummed loudly, drowning voices as people jostled. I simply watched Sean, oblivious to the shoving behind me. Abruptly, Sean stopped walking, his dark gaze fixing on our commotion. He pushed through the crowd, halting before me. The noise faded gradually. Sitting on the ground, I looked up into Sean's cool, deep eyes. Mist gathered behind him. Silently, he offered his hand, staring intensely with unreadable emotion in his eyes. Back then, I wore a cap and mask with boy-short hair covering my eyes. I pushed his hand away, scrambled up, and fled. Past and present blurred as I crouched under the eaves, disoriented. Sean stopped walking. The black umbrella tilted, revealing the figure beneath it. Slanted rain blurred the faint light from inside. Sean stood in the downpour, gaze locked on me, shadows shifting in his eyes. Surrounding chatter vanished abruptly, leaving only wet leaves rustling. Everyone squatting nearby turned to stare at me. I rose slowly, legs numb. Wiping rain from my face, I lifted the Kindle with a bright smile. "Sean, your Kindle didn't get wet." Sean posted new Weibo updates. Back at the hotel, I dried my freshly washed hair at my laptop. Habitually, I opened Sean's Weibo. He'd shared a photo of rain falling through murky darkness. Caption: "How are you?" He seemed subdued. Fans flooded the comments with comfort. Soon Jane posted too. I'm fine. Good night, everyone. Their subtle interaction rocketed too, fueling fan wars between shippers and solo supporters. But Sean quickly posted again. Try piggybacking once more. Jane promptly deleted her post and logged off. I opened Sean's private messages. With millions of followers, he likely never read DMs. Still, I wrote. Things seem hard lately. It's okay, this will pass. If work exhausts you, take leave. See mountains and rivers. Hesitating, I added. Many still love you. I'd bought Weibo VIP for Sean, just for message limits. Yet this was my first DM. I never expected a reply. As I prepared to exit, a notification lit my inbox. I clicked, stunned. Thank you. Someone has loved you for years too. I chewed my lip anxiously. This had to be an auto-reply. Early next morning, the cruise group chat buzzed. The lead actress would arrive late, so director planned to shoot Sean's solo scenes first. No need. Sean rejected this. This scene's pivotal for the lead's first meeting. Someone rehearse with me first. I need to find the mood. I tied my hair in a low ponytail, standing behind the director's monitor on the school field. In the novel, the leads met on this sports ground. Filming proceeded as scheduled. Sean needed a rehearsal partner. He sat lazily behind the monitor, chin propped on his hand, morning breeze ruffling his thick black hair. Then he turned, scanning background actors indifferently. Sunlight glowed fiercely, casting shadows from his nose across his cheek. Finally, his eyes landed on me, cheeks stuffed with breakfast. I blinked, confused. Mr. Yu? Lily Lin. He lowered his lashes softly. The original author would portray the female lead best. In the story, we met during our first high school PE class. Boys from both classes claimed opposite basketball hoops. Exiting the restroom, a ball rolled to my feet. Classmates shouted from their hoop for me to toss it back. I glanced between them and the ball. Okay. I bent obediently to pick it up. But as I straightened, uneven pavement tripped me. I fell back down hard. Boys burst into roaring laughter. The noise drew the other class's attention. Sean had just scored, turning on the court to look. He wore a white sleeveless jersey and navy headband, pale forehead exposed, eyes crinkled with amusement. It was early September, summer's last breath. Rubbing my sore knee, I rose and accidentally met his gaze. A lifetime passed in that glance. That was my first encounter with Sean. After rehearsal, the director didn't call, cut. Cameraman, lighting crew, director, all watched me. I stood frozen, unsure what to do. But Sean tossed the basketball aside and strode toward me. Sunlight speckled his frame, breeze lifting strands of his hair as he ran a hand through it lazily. I watched him approach wordlessly. He stopped before me, hands behind his back, bending until his cool obsidian eyes pierced mine. He said, "Lily, did you really think I wouldn't recognize myself as the novel's male lead?" My lashes fluttered. My heart slammed violently. That evening, director and producer hosted a dinner. Main cast members attended. I was invited too. Someone seated me beside Sean. Sean drew attention wherever he went. His wealthy father chaired a listed company, investing in many films. Director and producer subtly flattered him. Midway through dinner, emboldened by drinks, someone joked, "Mr. Yu, did you take this role for an unrequited love?" Sean rested his chin on his palm, fingers curled lazily around his wine glass. "Yes." The person pressed. "Was it Jane Young?" Sean's lashes lowered coldly. "No." I sat beside Sean, quietly eating, my stiff lashes jerking at his answer. My buzzing phone saved me. I set down chopsticks, feigning distraction as I unlocked it. Instantly, my blood froze. An unknown number sent a multimedia text. Attached was surveillance footage of that man pinning me down. Just then the room's lights cut out. I quickly darkened my screen to hide the photo. Heavy curtains blackened the space completely. Dizziness washed over me. Breath grew ragged, body colder. Endless darkness swallowed everything around me. I'd been locked in a dark room once. I feared blackness. I hadn't feared it before. After final exams, returning to collect my records, I was cornered in an alley by a boy I'd never spoken to. I knew his reputation. Poor student, violent, cycling through girlfriends with his handsome face. I avoided such people. But he claimed top students like me disgusted him, adding, "I'm underage. Law can't touch me." He took me to his rented room. Dark, chaotic, filthy. His breath turned coarse, forcing my hand onto his crotch. My palm held his sticky foul fluid as he shoved me onto icy floorboards, tearing my white dress. He called me slutty. I'd only ever worn uniforms to school. That dress was expensive, begged from Mom for weeks. I'd wanted Sean to see it. His hands groped under my bra while cold ceiling tiles blurred above me. Pain burned between my legs. Finally, Dad burst in with police. Mom clutched me, sobbing hysterically. My world had grayed out. Her wail restored warmth, and I turned stiff eyes slowly. Leaning into her embrace, I whispered, "Mom, it hurts." My voice rasped. "Lily. Lily. Who called me?" I blinked slowly, seeing Sean's enlarged face before me. Power had returned. The dining room lay empty and silent. Overhead light fell as Sean frowned, hands gripping my shoulders anxiously. He repeated my name. Sean stood so close I could count his lashes. I grinned dazedly. A childhood crush alone couldn't explain years of devotion. Sean had saved me, silently. There was no set time for record collection. Anyone could come that day, even proxies. So teachers wouldn't notice my absence. My parents worked. I told them I was leaving, so they wouldn't know I hadn't gone. That's why the boy acted so boldly. But Sean called Dad, asking when I'd collect my records. Only then did Dad realize I hadn't arrived, prompting him to bring police and kick down that door. That phone call fueled my decade-long love for Sean. Tears blurred my vision. I blinked, eyes, nose, mouth felt icy. Despair flooded my veins, threatening to freeze every cell. I wiped tears, looking up at Sean mournfully. "He tore the white dress I wore just for you." It happened on record collection day. Suddenly, Sean's soothing hand stilled on my back. He stared, shocked, voice tight. "What?" "I've hated you since you stole my essay award in high school. After graduation, I had him ruin you, but he pitied you instead." Disgusting. "How many men did you sleep with to enter Sean's crew?" Jane Young texted me. She'd sent the surveillance photo too. The boy interrogated by police took full blame, never naming Jane. He served years in prison, became vegetative after a post-release car crash. The hit-and-run driver fled abroad without paying compensation. The boy now lingered without care at home. Meanwhile, Jane remained free. That boy, Sean, waited for you all day at school on record collection day after graduation. Rain in Jongnan Today filmed at my alma mater. My homeroom teacher still worked there. We met her in the hallway today. She opened her office door, handing me an exercise book. "That boy liked you 3 whole years. He stayed silent to not disrupt your exams, planning to confess when you collected your records. But you never came. He asked me for your parents' contacts, asking when you'd arrive. When he called your dad later, the line was dead. This book was left in the office. Look, it's filled with sketches of you. The kid's truly artistically gifted." I took the book, opening to the first page. Beside dense black exercises, a pencil sketch showed me giving a speech under the national flag. In loose, ill-fitting summer uniform, hair in a high ponytail. Wind-lifted strands framing my face. Under Sean's pen, my eyes glowed brilliantly. This happened in October of 10th grade, when teachers chose top students for speeches. I flipped further. Every page depicted 10th grade versions of me. Me frowning over textbooks at morning reading, ink smudged clumsily on my lip. Me running 800 meters under morning sun, ponytail soaring in his strokes. Me sneaking chips under my desk during class, cheeks puffed like a hamster while feigning focus. Page after page spanned my entire freshman year. And this was just one of Sean's 10th grade notebooks. My eyes welled. Sean had truly loved me deeply back then. Jane Young put me on blast online. I'd barely spoken to her in high school. Our only overlap was a national essay contest. I won. She didn't. I never imagined she'd resent me for it. With millions of Weibo followers, Jane called me Sean's stalker, claiming I'd slept my way into the crew. Next, she accused me of rigging the essay contest, stealing her championship, home-wrecking, and seducing her boyfriend post-graduation. Holding the notebook, I leaned against a second-floor office railing. It was July. Plane trees below sweltered in heat so thick even cicadas wearied, their drone-like sighs from the trunks. Dappled shadows shifted. Sean emerged beneath a tree, wearing his high school uniform. Summer attire, white top, black pants, accentuated his lean frame. Years later, the uniform still radiated youthful energy. Hands in pockets, he gazed up at me on the second-floor balcony. Eyes dark as ink, bright as stars. For a moment, I truly time-traveled. 17-year-old Sean stood below me. Lily, I first saw you not on the sports field. The building was low. His voice carried clearly upward. It was 10th grade day 1. You sat by the window reciting Zhang Ruoxu's Moon over the river on a spring night. You stumbled at jade blinds can't roll away the moonbeam/laundry mallets can't pound them from the stream. I passed your class then, watching you scratch your head adorably, cheeks flushed by sunlight. I thought you were cute. Just like that, I noticed you. Then I discovered kindness defined you best. You'd argue loudly with street vendors who shortchanged customers. On parentless mornings, you'd skip to school humming, transparent umbrella in hand, red backpack bouncing. Failing an exam, you'd stay after class, crying quietly while fixing mistakes. The Lily I knew never surrendered to hardship. Wind stirred. The canopy swayed like rippling water. Cicadas buzzed wildly. My heart pounded hard. The boy below suddenly lifted his gaze, dawn light softening his eyes as he reached out. Come down. Let me hold you. I logged into my author Weibo account. My blacklist vanished within minutes. Sean's doing, I knew. My official account had 100,000 plus followers, fewer than Jane's, but she'd mistaken my role. I wasn't an extra. I was the legitimately invited original author who'd attended script readings. Online insults grew vicious. Some even threatened to dox me. But netizens didn't know my real identity, so my main account stayed peaceful. My inbox held readers' warm book reviews. I posted the full truth. Police records, my crew ID, Jane's texts. Jane had smeared both me and the director. He retaliated fiercely, buying influencers to expose her scandals. She'd slept her way to resources all year. Rain in Jiangnan Today's OST was begged through drunken tears. Finally, the director raged publicly. Shameless gossipers. That AI video of Sean/Jane was fake. Sean sued. The offending accounts are jailed. Must I sue every liar? Sean reposted my statement first. His repost made the scandal national news. Public opinion reversed instantly. Jane Young became a universally hated outcast. I filed police reports and hired lawyers. One late night, drafting legal documents, Jane called. Her entertainment career had collapsed. Brands dropped her. Reputation ruined. Jane hissed venomously, voice unhinged. I hate that I failed to break you that year. Lily, my biggest regret is you healing from it. I still didn't understand her hatred. Because I won that essay contest and you didn't? Yes, she shrieked. That prize was 3,000 yen, 2 months of my family's expenses. I trembled, disbelieving. For 3,000 yen you destroyed me? Yes. Teachers scolded me daily, saying I'd never match perfect you. Destroying their pet project felt glorious. Her voice dripped malice. I curse your dad died too early, otherwise you'd never sit here gloating. I hung up, sending the recording to my lawyer. Sitting stiffly, I calmed my frantic breaths. Later, checking Weibo, I found an overlooked message from Sean. 6 words. It wasn't an auto-reply. A youth sex education group invited me to share my story. The crew was thoughtful, even providing an on-site therapist to avoid triggering details. All went smoothly. My white dress wasn't wrong. Dressing prettily wasn't wrong. Walking back streets wasn't wrong. I dressed up to see someone I liked. That's no excuse for boys to rip my clothes. Finally, the host asked, "You wore that dress to meet your crush?" I nodded into the mic. Yes, I wore it for a boy I liked. In 3 years of high school, he only saw me in uniform. A teen girl's fantasy. I wanted him to see me differently. And then you were attacked. I lowered my eyes. Yes. He blamed my revealing clothes. But the one I liked would have called me beautiful. Does he know? Yes. I told Sean the story after that restaurant night. He'd parked roadside, lit a cigarette silently, glaring out the window. Wind whipped his hair back, sharpening his icy profile. I'd never seen him smoke, let alone risk paparazzi shots. I reached for the cigarette, but he stopped my hand. After a long pause, he turned with a faint smile. Such a shame I never saw that dress. You must have looked stunning. Rain in Jeongnan today wrapped on Mid-Autumn Festival. Coincidentally, my alma mater invited me to speak that day. In my own former senior year classroom. After my talk, giggling students handed me a book. Teacher, your name's in here. I took it puzzled. Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind. Its cover scrawled with Sean Yu in bold script. This isn't mine. I paused, searching for words, then grinned sheepishly. It's my nemesis's. No, look. Students urged. Turn the page. Frowning, I flipped to the second page. Above dense printed text, 8 sprawling characters filled the margin. Lily Lin, I like you. We found it in the school's old library. Students beamed. Is Sean Yu the movie star? Hugging the book, I smiled, lips curving shyly. Yes. I carried Gone with the Wind out of the classroom. Osmanthus blossoms clustered brilliantly outside, scenting the air richly. A man stood beneath the tree, tall and straight-backed. Wind shook golden petals loose, dusting his shoulders. I hurried over, brushing blossoms off him. How long were you waiting? Not long. Sean took my hand, walking slowly. Let's go home. Your mom just called, inviting me to dinner. I froze, blinking. Why didn't she tell me? A feather-light kiss grazed my lips. I looked up. Sean's striking face was inches away. Even after countless views, my heart still raced. He smirked triumphantly. You guess. I huffed playfully. I won't. But my fingers tightened around his. Side by side, we walked away. Evening breeze stirred. Dusk blushed gently. At 17, in that endless cicada-screaming summer, I dragged my wounded body back to school one last time without you. Stepping past the gates, I whispered goodbye in my heart. At 22, in this roaring world, I'm grateful we met again. Here at last, daylight floods the shadows, our dark river forever bright. Epilogue. Their family life. After a difficult pregnancy, Lily Lin gave birth to a healthy baby girl. As only children, Lily and Sean's daughter became both families' treasured apple of their eyes. Relatives showered her with jewelry, red envelopes, and savings bonds endlessly. The baby had Lily's eyes but Sean's mouth and jawline. During her swaddled infancy, she'd stare wide-eyed, sucking her tiny fist while drooling and smiling. That smile conquered grandparents instantly. They fought for turns holding her, beaming non-stop. For her 100-day celebration, the families hosted an event rivaling her parents' wedding. Dignitaries attended lavishly. Money wasn't an issue. Lily stayed at the city's top postnatal center with full-time nannies. Naturally slim, she'd gained weight only in her belly during pregnancy, nearly regaining her figure postpartum. Bored by the center, she packed bags with her nanny and went home a day early. Sean picked them up. Honestly, Sean was more nervous than Lily as a new parent. Inexperienced, he'd moved into the postnatal center's priciest suite when learning spouses could stay. He simply adored Lily. While relatives fussed over the baby, he noticed Lily's exhaustion and occasional sadness. Lily came first. Always. The baby was secondary. At night, after the nanny took the infant, he'd hold Lily, sharing showbiz gossip. Sean had left acting, using savings to open Lily a bookstore and donate to child protection charities. He'd joined his father's company, preparing to inherit the listed firm as his dad aged. A quick study. Sean soon managed operations smoothly. Back to the point, though retired, Sean still heard industry news through old contacts. His stories made Lily giggle constantly. Moonlight glowed through sheer curtains as Lily turned in bed, facing Sean. Lily had a warm, lovely face. Motherhood softened her features tenderly. Sean kissed her cheek, murmuring wife repeatedly. Lily answered each chatting idly until sleep took them. At the 100-day party, despite help, Lily still exerted herself, greeting guests, thanking gift givers, introducing the baby to relatives she barely knew, relying on Sean's cues. Afterward, exhaustion silenced her. When crowds thinned, quiet felt louder. Driving home, Lily walked ahead. Sean carried their daughter behind. Entering the elevator, Lily held the door, watching Sean approach. He paused, whispering to the baby. Lily laughed at his secrecy, asking later, "What did you say?" Sean held the baby with one arm, pulling her close. "Won't tell." Lily snorted playfully. Standing behind her, Sean watched her slender back, gaze softening. He'd never reveal those words. "Grow up quickly, little one. Help me love your mom."